Okay, so imagine getting paid to play video games. Cameron Halbert of St. Catharines is making it happen with his Sleeveless Gaming, and he's on the couch with us this morning. Very excited about this because there is a connection here.
Yes, there's a connection, and I'm nervous and he's nervous.
We're both very nervous.
My nephew.
Yeah. No way! This is cool. Is this weird for you guys?
It's a little. We were just talking about it earlier. That I think if it wasn't us, it would be a lot less nerve-wracking. But yeah, we're gonna get through this.
Because you've done lots of interviews before.
Lots of them, yeah.
And I've done lots of interviews, but it's like,
never been interviewed?
No.
Yeah.
So I was saying in the break that I've always heard about Cam through Annette about being a San Jose Sharks fan and a big NHL fan. So then how did you get your fandom into actually playing video games and making a career out of it?
Well, I mean, I've always been a huge hockey fan, and the video game has been something I've spent, you know, all throughout my childhood and even into my adulthood. I've just loved the video game so much, and I knew that I wanted to be a video game creator. It kind of became a more mainstream thing around like 2015, 2016. And, you know, I thought that if I was going to do it, I knew so much about the video game and I played it so much that why not just make content and see where it would go. And I can't believe I'm here, to be honest with you.
And then, tell them about the point like at which you decided to quit your big boy job, like your day job.
That was pretty tough. I mean, I think everyone that has a passion project or, you know, a side hustle, I guess, it gets to a point where you're having so much fun doing it. I remember going to work and I really enjoyed my job. There was nothing wrong with it, but I would find myself, I'd go to work and before going there, I would spend all of my time making videos, streaming on Twitch, and trying to figure out, use my vacation to go to these events to try and broadcast them or get involved with these teams. And I remember just sitting there one day and I got to work and I was, you know, just mindlessly doing my job and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. So I went to my wife and I said, you know, what if you just gave me 2 years? And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. So yeah, I'll always be super appreciative of my wife, Skyla, and yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Skyla. Yeah. Sleeveless Gaming is your thing.
Ugh, yeah. All right, so
but you got sleeves on.
No, okay.
Roll these babies up. Come on.
When I started, I done all my research about starting a channel, and all I heard was you needed a gimmick. So I like the gym, I like video gaming, and someone at my old job started calling me Cam No Sleeves because I would always go to the gym right after work, and I would always have cut-off shirts on because that was like a thing.
There's the
there you are.
guns
Yeah,
right
look
there.
at that. Yeah. So, anyways, so I just kind of started with that, and I got a little bit more and more into my career. And I remember, I'll never forget, I went to an event for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and they had a document crew there filming just behind the scenes of the event, and I was just there, just wasn't as a player. I was just kind of there trying to cover the event and things like that. And they sat me down, and I had a great one-on-one interview with them. They were going to air it. It was with MLSE. I loved it. But the main person running it, Shane, he comes up to me after. He's like, "Man, we can't air this. You got it." Yeah. So ever since then, I'm like, okay, we're going to like NHL executives and teams. I guess I gotta, you know, put a shirt on. So now everyone just calls me Sleeves.
What about moms and dads who are watching this right now and their kids love video games and love playing video games? Like, what did your parents say? Like, how did you make this into a career, and how is it a career?
I mean, I took it, you know, I started a lot later than a lot of these kids, right? So I was, I think, 27 when I started. So I'd already, you know, gone through a bunch of jobs, worked pretty much my whole adult life so far up to that point. And yeah, it's very difficult to convince parents that like I haven't played video games for a living. I think it's a little bit easier now because of how big gaming has got. But I remember trying to tell my dad that I'm gonna leave my job and I'm just gonna play video games. And he was like, "What are you doing?" You know. And now he's one of my biggest fans. I think I got to bring him to. I casted the NHL Gaming World Championship. Was their $100,000 tournament, and it was at the draft in Montreal. And I got to bring him with him to kind of see it, and that was a really good moment in my career. But I mean, obviously, thinking back to when I was younger and I was a teenager. You know, I worked at Zellers, and I'm trying to think.
It's coming back. You get a job there again.
Yeah, if you can, I find these kids now that if they really put their mind to it, and it's not just about just playing video games, but learning how to build a brand, how to interact on social media, all of that kind of stuff. You can learn a ton. That would benefit you, I think, in the real world now, as opposed to it did maybe 15, 20 years ago.
Are you aging yourself out of it because the kids are so young?
I am finding that I need to broaden my horizons. So just making videos on YouTube and streaming on Twitch is a huge part of it. It's like literally almost all of my business outside of broadcasting these esports events. And I'm finding myself now that I've got to find the next thing. I'm just chasing, you know, trying to get involved, trying to get more exposure and bigger. But yeah, there'll come a point where I just wake up and I hopefully can just play whatever game I want and go. That's the dream. But until you know, I get to that point, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. So
amazing, good for you.
Awesome.
We've run out of time. Any dirt in Antoinette? What do you got? What do you got?
I guess
I'm a horrible babysitter. I babysat him one night.
Yeah,
and that was it.
I guess like yeah, she made me breakfast one morning, and I'm not really a fan of eggs anymore than the rest of my life. So I mean, that's pretty much all I got.
I got better.
It did. Yeah, much better. Much better. Christmas is great.
Awesome, Cameron. Best of luck, man.
Thanks.
Good stuff.
Thanks
Go
for
Sleeveless
having me.
Gaming.
Yes.
Little inspiration for a lot of kids out there, because I love the analogy that you can make a career out of it if you really want to.
Absolutely.
Okay, good stuff.